Greetings and welcome back to Becoming a Published Author is Fun. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, check out episode 8008. This happens to be episode 2526, and it's simply entitled Published. You've gotten published. This is something that every writer, every author wants is to be published. And so I'm looking at here, I'm going to acquaint you with some services that I offer, but you're not obligated to obviously take these. You can look out and use this as a standard for looking at others if you want. But the idea, this is what I know and what I'm more of an expert on, is what I've got. So, Basic Authors Training, that's a writing course. It was established in 2023, and it's something that I have to continually go back and add and update, things of this nature. But it's a course that you can take up to 12 months or longer if you want on it, or you can do it faster if you want. It's your own pace. It uses what I consider a unique method of giving you information. It's a two-tiered method, and it's teaching. I teach you the principles of writing. It's also coaching. I coach you along the way. Eventually, the coaching and the teaching merge together, and it's all one concept. But the teaching is to bring you up to speed. The coaching is simply because you're not going to want to wait. You want to do your writing now, and you should. And so I'm going to coach you. And then eventually, as things keep going on, you keep learning, bringing stuff in. You learn how to edit. You learn how to update. You learn how to change what you've already got done and go back and do it. That's part of writing. And so that's something that's built right into it. And you are actually writing the book that you're going to publish, because that's one of the things when you take Basic Authors Training, it's part of the course. At the end of that course, if you've finished everything, you've done all the assignments and everything that I've got on there for you to do, you're ready. You're ready to be published. Then there's what I would be sending you, a guaranteed publishing package, already taken care of cost-wise. Ministry publishing is the publishing aspect that you see here without the writing course. So you're a writer. You think you know how to write, okay? So what here in ministry publishing, you do get some basic editing, even some little coaching and stuff like that. But primarily, you are either ready or almost ready to have your book published. And so this is separate, but in here, the publishing aspect is part of the whole entire package. Here, the publishing is it. And in both cases, there are some marketing aspects that come in too. So this brings us to what I want to discuss now. Who can be qualified for this? Who can be qualified for that? Now, if you are a Christian, that is, there's been a time in your life where you've recognized you're a sinner and that you needed Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God, came down on earth, lived a perfect, sinless life, went to the cross and took your sins upon himself and died in your place. You have received him as your Savior. If you've done that, you've received him as your Savior, then you qualify for this. You're going to church, and you're active in that church. So you're saved, and you are attending church, active in it. That means you are truly saved. So we have two aspects here. One, you must be saved, a Christian. Two, I want you to be active in your church. That tells me a lot about you. Now, am I going to ask you to prove it? No, I am not. I'm taking you at your word. So you can lie. I'm not encouraging you to, but you can fool me. But you're not going to fool him. And so don't expect him to bless it if you're lying about it. So the who is if you're a Christian who's active in your church. I don't care what kind of activity. You can be the plumber, you can be the janitor, you can be the groundskeeper, you can be the church secretary, the financial secretary, you can be the pastor, you can be a choir member, you can be an usher. There's so many different jobs that are in the church that you can be a part of. I know of some people. I've like there was one woman who what she did is she would operate a sort of a text line, like on messages, or yeah, basically that, or even using the WhatsApp. I think it's called WhatsApp line app or WhatsApp, and you can use that. And what she did is she would contact different people. Another one would send out birthday greetings or maybe anniversaries and stuff like that, greeting cards and so forth in the name of the church to different members of the church. That's a ministry. That's a service. So I'm not particular about what you are doing, nor do I care whether you're getting paid for it or not. You can be volunteer. You can be paid. The idea is that you are active. That's the key. That you are doing something. And if you're not doing something, but you have done it and now you're not able to do it, you still qualify. So who is a Christian who is active in their church, serving the Lord? Now, T&R Independent Books is a King James Version Bible publisher. So if you use the Bible and you're going to quote the Bible, I insist on you using the King James Version. That's the only thing that we will allow. That's because the King James Version is the only Bible out there made for, written for, interpreted for, however you want to say it, for English-speaking people. Not the only Bible for people, the only Bible for English-speaking people. The other versions that are out there are what I consider corrupt versions, and I can prove that. I can also prove that the King James Version is the only version that goes all the way back to the apostles, and with an unbroken line. We can trace it. It's also the only one that used, if you're familiar with the Bible at all, the Masoretic text. I've discussed that, I believe, right here on this podcast. But I know I've discussed it in my other podcast, which is Christian News and Views, Bible Talk. I've discussed the Masoretic text where they went in and actually, they were so particular that when they wrote the name of God down, they had to, every letter of the Lord, they had to take the pen or the quill that they used and throw it away and use a new one. They could not make a mistake. If they made a mistake, they had to throw the whole document away. That could be frustrating. So, does that fit you? Then if that fits you, then here is it. Which one do you go for? Well, I already told you that one. If you don't know how to write a book, or you think you need a refresher or something like that, that's part of this one up here, Basic Authors Training. If you believe that you're confident and that you need only minimal editing, minimal coaching, but you want to be published, then this is the way to go. Now this one's more expensive than this one. Both are available either your full price or you can pay on a subscription. And both are 12-month long subscriptions. So that really breaks the price down for you. So here you are a Christian, saved by the grace of God, who's active in your church or has been active and can't do it now because of health or other or similar reasons. And you're willing to use the King James Version Bible. Now we get down to the how. How in the world do you do this? Well, the payment I've already mentioned. The payment is by either full price or by subscription. But let's go a little bit deeper. In both cases, well, actually this case here, let's go with this one here. This one here has a dashboard, and it goes through it, and you can use these in any order you want. I would recommend you use the order that I put stuff in, because I think that's the best way for you to learn and to acquire the principles you need, the skills you need. But once you get that, you can skip around if you want. The idea is for you to be able to learn and to apply that what you learn into your book. The coaching is that you contact me. I believe there's 3 coaching sessions allowed. That are, I shouldn't say allowed, are scheduled. You can ask for more, in which they're like 15 minutes long. Now, the ones that are scheduled might be longer than that, but you can actually get ones that are around 15 minutes, can go beyond that, but basically 15 minutes, in which you have a problem, and I will address that problem. And if it takes a little bit longer than 15 minutes, then it takes a little bit longer than 15 minutes, unless I have somebody else right after you. But the thing is, I coach you. It's live. You know, we would use Zoom, and we would work together. And I would acquaint you with what you, for instance, that we use here. I use a platform called KDP, which is Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing. They have criteria that must be followed. So if you don't want to follow their criteria, then you got a problem there. Like I wouldn't be able to publish you because that's the publishing platform that I use. So, but you have other things which is a preference, say a rule of grammar, and for the purposes of your story, you want to violate that grammar. Make that clear to me. And then when we see that, I will, if I see it, I will know to go ahead and slide over that. Or I'll ask you about it and you will explain to me, yes, I want that in there just like that. So we work together. You are the boss. The Ministry of Publishing, again, has minimal editing. By that I mean I'm going to go in there, look at the words, the spelling, the grammar. Again, you can have bad grammar in there if that's part of the story. I mean, you might have some character in your book that has terrible grammar. Well, then that's part of their deal. The deal there. You may have a style of writing that may not be grammatically perfect. Okay, when I see that, and I have done this actually, I've had a client in which she wrote her book, and her style was such that I glossed over some of the things that professors of grammar would frown on, but they fit her conversation, her style, the speech, the words that she used to describe this, that fit the whole story. To change it would have ruined the story. And so the story is prominent, the author, which is you, is prominent. I'm there to help you, to guide you along the way. And so that's what basic authors training is. And you get a little bit of that with Ministry Publishing. Like I said, you get some of that. You also get some coaching. Again, minimal, but you do get it. I want you to succeed, so I'm gonna do what I can to help you. Let's say that you got into Ministry Publishing and then suddenly discovered, wow, I don't know as much as I thought I knew about writing. Maybe I should take that course. Well, you've already paid for this. So what we do is we subtract the price of this from the price of that, and that's where you just pay the difference. I would have to probably give you a coupon or something like that to work that out for the financial transaction. But you're not going to charge you for this, and then when you move to this, charge you for the full price here. We'll subtract this from that and go from there. Okay. So we've done the who, the which, and we've gotten into the how. The which, by the way, is just which one of these you want. Now we get down to the why. Why do I need help? Why do I need your help? My help. Why do you need my help? Well, you may not need it. you might be qualified to do it yourself. Now I'm going to tell you right up front, it's easy to do. It's also hard to do. Well, that's a contradiction, right? Not really. Doing it yourself, mentally, in concept, is easy to do. It's not rocket science, as they like to say. There are certain aspects and rules, and if you follow this basic, becoming a public author is fun. If you follow me for any length of time, I give out free advice that you can use to help you do it yourself. But if you're going to do it yourself, just know this: it's going to eat up your time. You may want to spend your time writing. Well, to do it this way, the do it yourself way, it's going to take up more time. You're going to have to do some more thorough editing. There's no one backing you up, unless you hire somebody. But assuming you're doing it all yourself, it's going to take time and energy and knowledge. And if you don't have the knowledge, you're going to have to get it. And so, do it yourself is an avenue to take. This is aimed at those who recognize either one, they don't have the necessary skills to do it on themselves and need to learn them, or two, they may understand them, they may know them, but they don't want to lose the time. They want to invest most of their time in the writing of their book. And so that's the group of people that I'm aiming at. This whole podcast is aimed at both of you. Because those of you who want to do it yourself, that's exactly the way I went. And of course I'm still doing it myself. But the time that I'm taking to work with you is time that I don't have for my own book. That's fine. I made that choice a long time ago. The time I take to market your book, and part of the publishing package is some marketing. You're going to do most of the marketing, no matter who you go with, no matter what level you go with. They're going to be in charge of. You're going to be in charge of most of the marketing. A lot of other publishers out there will sell you marketing tools. I will someday. At this point of making this video, I don't sell tools. I give them away. I'm creating a treasure chest, and I have a client that's coming very close to getting his book published, and he will get that treasure chest or book chest, however you want to call it. Tool chest is another term for it. Where from the next book he writes, he'll have these tools that he can access, and it's for a lifetime. So it's who, which, how, and the why. Only you can make that choice. I would suggest you go to God about it and see what He says. If He's the one calling you to be a writer, He's also going to be the one who's going to point you to which way to go. And when you choose it, commit yourself to it. This here requires you to do some homework, some work. They're cleared out. I provide you with the homework. You can read it. You can download it. You can look at it over and over and over again until you know it for sure. You can practice with it. You can incorporate it in your book, the whole thing. But it requires you to participate. So does this, but on a different scale. But the thing is that you're going to need to commit yourself. You're putting money out. Why wouldn't you commit yourself to it? And if you're not putting your money out and you are doing it by yourself, then here's another question. Yes, it is free, but it is costing you in the terms of time and energy. If you're going to put time and energy in it, then you need to be committed to it. Don't let that roadblock, and you're going to probably hit a roadblock somewhere along the line. That's where the coaching comes in up here. I can help you through that roadblock. But if you're doing it yourself, you have nobody but yourself. I've been there. I went through what I call the school of hard knocks. And I learned a lot of bad stuff and some good stuff, but I learned it through that school. There was no teacher. There was nobody to guide me. I had to learn by trial and error. That, folks, is not the way you need to learn. I'm trying to help you avoid that. That's why this podcast exists, and that's why these services exist. But you make the choice. And here at T&R Independent Books, you are considered the boss. Yes, I know what the rules are, and I'm going to tell you what the rules are. When it comes to King James Version Bible, that's an absolute. But I have very few absolutes personally as far as your writing goes. But the platform that I use, they have some absolutes. And your writing has to agree with them. Especially when you get around with the book covers and stuff like that. You have, but most of the rest of it is your responsibility. You are in charge. Now, you can say, I don't want you to edit. I'll explain to you that why it's necessary for me to edit. Because if you're putting junk out there, it's going to reflect bad on you. It's going to reflect bad on me as well. So I'm going to try to convince you to do a proper editing. I will help you with it. I will do some editing myself. But my editing is when I tell you what needs to be done, and then you either tell me to go ahead and do it, or you do it yourself. Over and over again, I'm going to refer to you, because it's your boss. When you're with me, when you start this process, you are an indie author. I'm an indie author. I'm also an indie publisher. And so that means that you, the author, are in charge. You go traditional and you go self-publishing, you're not in charge. You might think you are, but you're not. When you get it all done, and you look back over, you'll see just how much control they have. As an indie author, you have 100% of the control, minus some absolutes that just are necessary to have. That is my promise to you, that I don't even have to guarantee it. It's simply how I operate. I want you to succeed. And I look at you as the one who has the vision. You are the one who knows where you want to go with this and so forth. And you and I, we will work together, and you will get able to write and get published a book that you can be proud of. That's it for today. I do encourage you to, right over here, right about there, I want you to, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so, because T&R Independent Books, that's the name of the channel, and or it's either a T&R or TR, you can see it either way. The correct name from my business is T&R, but the channel, I believe they left the and out, so it's just TR, underline, and then Independent Books. So you're familiar, if you're here, you probably have seen that on the screen. And so you can subscribe to it. And you get this podcast. You also get Christian News and Views, which is Monday through Friday. And you get a lot of different news. You get the news, and then you get my opinion. I try not to mix the two. If I do mix the two together, I let you know I'm doing it. That's a whole lot different than what you get in your local newspaper or on TV and radio. They mix the two together, and you're left with think. The idea is that their opinions are just as good as the facts, and therefore is a fact. My opinion is my opinion, and you can agree or disagree. Now, when you do that, when you subscribe to that, I promise to inform you. I want to inspire you, and I want to try to think of the third word. There was a third word in there. To inform, inspire, and oh well, it'll come to me later on. But basically, I want to put out a product that will help you be a better writer in this case, or to be a more informed Christian on the other podcasts. And either way, that is my promise to you. In the meantime, I will see you in the next episode. You have a great day.